the second the parental dynamic shows up in a relationship, there won't be any erotic feeling, right? Because we are hardwired as animals to not have sex with our offspring. So the second that feeling is there, we don't want to have sex with them anymore, right? There's a lot of things at play, I think, when it comes to this, like, we'll just say mother-son dynamic, but it could just be parental, right? Because I've seen it happen the other way around. I do think,
and we're not talking about mommy kinks either.
No.
It's such a different...
No. We're talking about, I have another child.
The day-to-day issues.
And not even, and joking even aside, like when people play with that kind of like kink and fetish, it's really different than like I am having to be your like emotional caretaker and your personal assistant in your life, making sure that everything lines up the way you need it to.
I mean, so you know that there's that book / now documentary Fair Play that's just come out, right?
Yes.
So I think this is a topic that's hot.
I know everyone always
now.
brings up that book and I still haven't read it.
Watch the documentary.
Okay.
It's great. The woman who wrote it's in it too. So it's very like on point for the book. Sidebar, I didn't realize Gavin Newsom's wife is like some amazing documentary film.
What? I did not know that either.
She did the movie.
Ah, interesting.
Who would have known?
Who would have known? Anyway, that's my little sidebar for y'all. But it's a hot topic right now, right? And again, going back to, I hate to like be the female that's constantly like, smash the patriarchy. But I mean, we do have to look at the structure in which we're raised. And again, we all suffer. It's not just that women suffer in this, men suffer in this too. But we have essentially gotten ourselves, let's just talk heteronormatively, right? We've gotten ourselves into a situation where women do it all. Women are expected to do it all with a smile on their face, without a complaint, right? And then we're expected to also want to jump our husband's, partner's bones at the end of the day after doing it, right? And nobody wins in this because the men feel emasculated and the women feel maternalized, right? No one's having fun sex at all. And no one's partnerships are really all that like satisfying. What I will say is that as somebody who struggles immensely with codependent behaviors, and I've done a lot of recovery work around this, it is my tendency to mother, not just my partner, but everybody.
Right.
I'm the mom in the group. I was always the designated driver when I was younger. I'm always the one holding everybody's hair when they're puking. Like I'm the mom, right? And it shows up. And I'm the oldest in my siblings. I was parentified. I grew up really young.
Yeah.
I was the caretaker. I was the caretaker of my mom's needs too, in a lot of ways. She was young. And so it's very natural for me to fall into that role. And it's easy for John to fall into, he's the youngest. And he's used to people, honestly, his partners as well, kind of taking care of him. And so it's worked for both of us to be like, ew, I don't like this. Ew, I feel really gross in this. A lot of times it comes from him saying what you said felt really mothering.
Oh, 100%. And then does that then bring out a few, this is really plays out in our partner dynamic where then I'm like, well, stop acting like a
Maybe
fucking
if you didn't
12-year-old.
act like a child, I wouldn't treat you like
Why are you
one.
trying to rebel against me?
Yeah.
I'm literally just like trying to be like, hey, could you do this? Because I need this. And he's like, what, do you have any more chores for me? I'm like, no, this is our house.
Yeah.
Your
house too. It's not a chore. It's your house. Just like it's not babysitting if it's your fucking kid.
You go to work actually and I'll clean it up, right?
Yeah.
I'll handle it. Sure.
Yeah. Well, but this is the thing, because this is the like expectation. These are the roles
and
that we've been given.
How often have I stepped into that and not said anything too, or been like, you don't even care about researching the pediatrician, so like I'm gonna do it, right?
Yes. This is Glennon Doyle actually talked about this.
Research.
Yes. She talked about this on her podcast, and her dynamic is obviously really interesting, right? Because she has her ex-husband, but now she's married to a woman, and so they talk about this amazing difference in dynamics. And the way that they did it, because Glennon was the person that carried this mental load, right, was like her ex-husband Craig, it was like, teeth are your area, period. If the kid's teeth falls out because you
That's
don't
on you.
that's on you. I am out of teeth. Like, it's not my jam, right? And so they really delineated, well, I'm trying to think of the word, by doing it that way, right? That might work for some, it might not work for others, but it's a way for you to not do the mothering. Did you make the appointment yet? Have you taken are you brushing their teeth? Are you making sure? Which we have the tendency to do, which, listen, let's be real, feels really fucking mothering.